Mustangs, welcome to your Friday edition of the Daily Update. I'm Shelby Fishman.
And I'm Kennedy Hayes. Let's get to the news. President Donald Trump and Vice President Joe Biden are in the election home stretch after participating in their final debate. That story tops today's Mustang Minute. The final debate was unlike the first time President Trump and former Vice President Biden squared off in Nashville. The candidates talked about climate change and the future of the oil industry. Biden attacked Trump on his response to the pandemic while fending off allegations of corruption. Trump defended his handling of the coronavirus, saying the pandemic was China's fault. Trump also called Biden's plans to end federal subsidies for the oil and gas industry as a big statement that will hurt states like Texas. A mute button was in place for this final debate to make sure there were fewer interruptions. SMU Debate hosted the final presidential debate watch party Thursday night on Dallas Hall lawn. Participants tuned in both on Zoom and in person. The night began with opening remarks from Dr. Ben Voth discussing previous meetings between the two candidates and expectations for the final face-off. Attendees watched the presidential debate and then discussed the performance of Trump and Biden afterward. Voth says it's important for voters to watch debates so they can get a better understanding of the candidates.
It helps people who are voting feel like they're voting for some substantial reason. They're able to compare the candidates and understand what they propose to do. So without debates, I would say we lack some of the legitimacy that we expect in a democratic political process like the United States.
This was the last presidential debate watch party. Election Day will take place on November 3rd.
The CDC has made changes to its definition of a close contact with a COVID-19 patient. The definition of close contact now includes exposures adding to a total of 15 minutes or more of an infected person. This change was made due to a correction officer testing positive after being in close contact with a COVID-19 inmate. The CDC says wearing a mask is one of the most effective steps you can take to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Time now for Coronavirus on the Hilltop. Lauren Rangel has more on how the pandemic is impacting the SMU campus.
Hey Mustangs, I'm Lauren Rangel with Coronavirus on the Hilltop. Dallas remains in red risk level as COVID-19 cases rise. That's the highest level of coronavirus-related threat Dallas County has. Since then, Parkland health officials said a second COVID-19 wave might be coming, and this spike could be the biggest the county has seen yet. SMU Dr. Arthony Christian explains how SMU students can play an important role in changing the trend.
From now until Thanksgiving, trying really hard to not travel because any travel is a point of exposure. The other thing that can complicate matters is Dallas County itself has not opened their bars, but there are several surrounding counties in the North Texas area that have loosened their restrictions and opened bars. And there's nothing that can stop Dallas County residents from driving to those counties. Bars are considered high-risk places. So I'm not saying social activities are bad, you should just sit in your room and not interact with anybody, but trying to limit the number of people you interact with and trying to make that consistent. If you can really find a close friend group, maybe your close group of 5 to 8 people that you just from here until the end of the semester, until Thanksgiving, that you're just gonna hang out with and just decide, okay, we're all gonna still have good times. We're gonna watch football games, we can get together, and trying not to expand out or having larger number group gatherings.
She adds, it's important to keep washing your hands, wear a mask, and follow social distancing guidelines. It all comes down to the health and safety basics. Is there a COVID-19 question you want answered? Message at Lauren_K_Rangel. See you next week for Coronavirus on the Hilltop. Number 16 ranked SMU football hosts number 9th ranked Cincinnati for Saturday's homecoming game. Both the Mustangs and the Bearcats are undefeated so far this season. The matchup will be the first AP poll top 25 game in Ford Stadium. Catch the Mustangs on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. on Saturday. Many people know the popular Netflix series Cheer that came out this year. But what you may not know is that there is an SMU connection to the show. SMU-TV's Katie Pratt joins us to explain more.
Monica Aldama is the Navarro cheer coach and a contestant on the latest season of Dancing with the Stars. But what you may not know is Monica has a daughter who's a senior at SMU, and she has some of the same aspirations as her mother.
Seeing my mom on all of these shows has been quite the experience.
Cheer, the Netflix series, stars Monica Aldama and the athletes she coaches, who are well known throughout the cheer world for their talent.
The people that are in the show cheer are definitely people that I've been following across the cheer industry since I was a little kid.
And as a kid, Allie dreamed of following in her mom's footsteps, and she's done just that, making the cheer squad at SMU. But before Allie was a cheerleader at SMU, she cheered for her mom at Navarro College.
I did cheer for my mom my senior year of high school because I was a student at Navarro. I was able to join the team in the spring and experience that and go to Daytona with Navarro.
Co-cheerleader Jacob says having Allie on the team makes her feel connected to her mom's story.
She doesn't really let any of the fame per se get to her head or anything. She's definitely just a normal person.
Allie's mom is on to her next competition as one of the contestants on Dancing with the Stars.
It's hard to believe that I turn on TV and see my mom on the Ellen show or watching Dancing with the Stars every Monday night and cheering for her and trying to get everybody to vote for her.
But with all the hype, it's not getting in the way of Allie's college experience. She just got back from visiting her mom while the Dancing with the Stars competition continues.
Going out and seeing my mom while she's in LA and watching her videos of her practices and seeing her practice at her apartment that they rented her in front of her mirror, it's just really cool to see and experience.
Having a little bit of Hollywood experience right here on the hilltop. For SMU-TV, I'm Katie Pratt.
You can watch the Cheer series on Netflix and Dancing with the Stars every Monday night on ABC starting at 7 p.m.
Time now for your weekly roundup. Hannah Jones joins us now to tell us what happened in the news this week.
This is your weekly roundup. Senate Republicans moved Barrett's Supreme Court nomination towards final vote. After finishing her panel with the Senate Judiciary Committee, Amy Coney Barrett has advanced in the process to receive the full Senate confirmation vote. This is the closest Supreme Court nomination in relation to a presidential election in the country's history. Pope Francis becomes the first pontiff to endorse same-sex civil unions. In a recent documentary, Francis says that same-sex couples should legally be allowed to be together. Francis also said that homosexuals are children of God. This has sparked some controversy from the Catholic Church as they have previously opposed same-sex couples. The MLB World Series is looking a little different this year. In the 116th edition of the series, the Tampa Bay Rays face off against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Each team has won one game so far out of the total 7. What is usually an exciting week in baseball history is now not as fun for the players or the fans, as the stadium will remain empty. This week marks the 1-year anniversary of a tornado outbreak in North Texas. After destruction hit Dallas and its surrounding cities, companies who were affected are helping others who haven't fully recovered. Central Market has donated to the Dallas Education Fund to help rebuild schools in the DISD that are still facing damages. A baby panda at the Smithsonian National Zoo was brought out of its den for the first time to catch a glimpse at its new indoor habitat. I'm Hannah Jones, and that's your weekly roundup.
And that's your Mustang Minute.
I wouldn't necessarily call Tony Blair and Saddam Hussein the best of buddies back in 2003. So these 2 points, while interesting, don't fit under the framework that my opponent and I have agreed to today when we're talking about friendships and positive relationships.
Some of my greatest friends have been made doing debate here at SMU because you travel with them and you prep alongside them. You really get to know them as an individual, and it really helps make your college experience greater because it can give you a really good core friend group.
I would recommend joining the SMU debate program in order to build up your communication skills, advance your career, and perhaps even win a national title.
Underneath our diplomatic model, we have had incredible successes in North Korea. We've gone from a nuclear state, which is talking about bombing our country to negotiations.
Our current 15-member base meets Thursday nights at 7 p.m. in Humphrey Lee 247.
Come join debate this Thursday.
Mars, bringing you your weather update. Friday, a cold front will move in, dropping our temperatures and bringing rain into the area. The high will be in the mid-70s and will drop into the mid-40s overnight. The rain will clear out on Saturday, but it will still be cool, with a high around 64 and a low in the upper 50s. Sunday, we will warm back up again with highs in the 80s and lows in the 50s. Another cold front will move back in on Monday and bringing with it some chilly temperatures. Monday's high won't get out of the 50s and we'll see lows in the mid-40s. There will also be some storms in the area. It'll be chilly on Tuesday as well, Mustangs, so dust off those coats. You'll need them early next week. That's your 5-day forecast. For SMU-TV, I'm Olivia Mars.
EQuest provides equine-assisted activities for individuals with all types of disabilities, and we also have a large veterans program. And we work with the horse as our partner to help individuals with physical and cognitive challenges to meet life goals.
I love being able to work with the horses and also help improve the independence and teach riders how to overcome any struggles or difficulties they're having. Favorite thing about my job is honestly everything.
It's very special that, it's a thing that not a lot of people get to experience.
For more information, call eQuest at 972-412-1099 or visit equest.org.
Very creative and crafty dad came up with a fitting 2020 Halloween costume, a Zoom meeting. Greg Dietzenbach, a creative director at a creative design agency, made the homemade Zoom costume. It shows a virtual meeting with 9 people. There's a hole in the center for a person's head, so Dietzenbach's daughter can wear the costume.
The rest of the squares are pictures of different spooky Halloween characters. This is not Dietzenbach's first creative Halloween costume. Past masterpieces include a piranha-feeding costume. Well, that's all we have for you, Mustangs. Remember, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SMU-television.
And follow us on Twitter at SMU-TV. If you have any story ideas, shoot us an email, smutv@smu.edu. Thanks for watching this Friday edition of the Daily Update.
Tune in next week for more news from the Hilltop. Until then, have a great day and pony up.
SMU-TV and the Division of Journalism want to thank our underwriters, North Park Center in Dallas, Javier's Gourmet Mexicano on Cole Avenue, and Advance ER off West Lovers Lane. We appreciate your support of student media.